Hello everyone. Today's our subject of study is Standard 7th History, lesson number 2, India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Students, you may remember that we have started learning this lesson in previous video. Some of the points we have studied in previous video and remaining points we will study in today's video. Let's take a quick review of the points we have already studied and the points we want to study today. Ruling powers in India before the times of Shivaji Maharaj. Invasions from the northwest. Sultanate in the north. Vijayanagar kingdom. All these points we have studied in previous video. And now in today's video we want to study the points Krishna Dev Raya, the Bahmani kingdom, Mahmud Gawan and Mughal power. Let's begin with the first point, that is Krishna Dev Raya. Students, see the image of Krishna Dev Raya. Krishna Dev Raya ascended the throne of Vijayanagar in 1509 CE. He conquered Vijayawada and Rajmahendri and annexed the regions to his kingdom. Means Krishna Dev Raya won the regions Vijayawada and Rajmahendri and joined those regions to his own empire Vijayanagar. He defeated the combined forces of the armies of the sultans who had united under the leadership of the Bahmani Sultan Mahmud Shah. Krishna Dev Raya extended the kingdom of Vijayanagar from Cuttack in the east up to Goa in the west and from the Raichur Doab in the north up to the Indian Ocean in the south. Students, you can see the expansion of Vijayanagar kingdom in the map given in red color. This area is extended by Krishna Dev Raya. Krishna Dev Raya died in 1530 CE. Krishna Dev Raya was a scholar. He wrote Amukta Malyada, a Telugu compendium on polity. Compendium on polity means a book written to instruct or to give rules regarding the administration of kingdom. So, Krishna Dev Raya wrote a book named Amukta Malyada. See the picture of Hazar Ram temple. This picture is of Vitthal temple. Both the temples were built in Vijayanagar during the reign of Krishna Dev Raya. The decline of the Vijayanagar kingdom began with the death of Krishna Dev Raya. In 1565 CE, at Talikot, in present state of Karnataka, there was a battle between Adil Shahi, Nizam Shahi, Qutub Shahi, Barid Shahi on one side and Vijayanagar on the other side. Vijayanagar was defeated. Thereafter, the dominance of Vijayanagar came to an end. Next topic to be studied is the Bahmani kingdom. Muhammad bin Tughlaq was still reigning. Some of his sardars in the Deccan rose in rebellion against him. Rebellion means revolt. Some of the sardars of Muhammad bin Tughlaq revolt against him. The leader of these sardars, Hasan Gangu, defeated the army of the Sultan of Delhi. A new kingdom known as the Bahmani kingdom came into existence in 1347 CE. Hasan Gangu became the first Sultan of the Bahmani kingdom. He made the city of Gulbarga in Karnataka his capital. Next topic is Mahmud Gawan. Mahmud Gawan was the chief wazir of the Bahmani kingdom. He was a good administrator. He strengthened the Bahmani kingdom. He started paying the soldiers their salaries in cash instead of through land grants. Students, previously kings were paying their soldiers through the land grants, but Mahmud Gawan started paying salaries to the soldiers in cash. He introduced many reforms in the land revenue system. Reforms means improvements. He opened a madrasa at Bidar for Arabic and Persian studies. After the death of Mahmud Gawan, factionism increased among the Bahmani sardars. Factionism means groupisms. After the death of Mahmud Gawan, his soldiers, his sardars started making groupism, and the conflict with the Vijayanagar kingdom had an adverse effect on the Bahmani kingdom. Already, sardars started making factionism, plus Vijayanagar kingdom had the conflict with the Bahmani kingdom. plus provincial governors began to act more independently. All these facts led to the disintegration of the Bahmani kingdom into 5 small powers, and they were Imad Shahi of Warad, Barid Shahi of Bidar, Adil Shahi of Bijapur, and Nizam Shahi of Ahmednagar, and Qutub Shahi of Golconda. So, Bahmani kingdom was disintegrated in these 5 small powers. Next topic to be studied is Mughal power. In 1526 CE, the Sultanate of Delhi came to an end. Mughal power was established there. Babur was the founder of Mughal power. He was the king of Fargana in Central Asia in today's Uzbekistan. He had heard of the wealth in India, so he planned an invasion of India. The reigning Sultan of Delhi at that time was Ibrahim Lodi. Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab under the Sultanate. The relationship between Ibrahim Lodi and Daulat Khan Lodi was strained. Daulat Khan Lodi invited Babur to march on India. Taking this opportunity, Babur invaded India. To repel Babur's invasion, Ibrahim Lodi started with his army. There was a battle between Ibrahim Lodi and Babur on 21st April 1526 at Panipat. In this battle, Babur made use of an artillery effectively for the first time in India. He defeated Ibrahim Lodi's army. This is known as the First Battle of Panipat. After the Battle of Panipat, Rana Sanga of Mewad brought all Rajput kings together. There was a battle between Babur and Rana Sanga at Khanua. Babur's artillery and reserve force played a key role in this battle, and Rana Sanga's army was defeated. Babur died in 1530 CE. After Babur, Humayun became the king of Delhi Sultanate. After Humayun, Akbar ascended the throne. There was a battle between Akbar and Hemu at Panipat in 1556 CE. This is the second battle of Panipat. Akbar's ambition was to bring the whole of India under his own central authority. Akbar was the most powerful king of the Mughal dynasty. When he tried to bring India under his central authority, he had to face opposition. Maharana Pratap, Chand Bibi, Rani Durgavati, all they struggled against the Akbar's ambition. Their struggle we will study in next video. Till then, you study at home, revise at home, and take care. Thank you.